Hello, everybody. This is Jason Artiga, and this is another episode of Cinema Macabro YouTube channel. Now, it's been a while since I've been on. I took a hiatus for almost a year due to some pandemic-related issues, and luckily there was no tragedies. But I decided to take a year off, and the minute I came in, it was kind of weird because I saw the trailer for Malignant late, and I wanted to see the film. As a matter of fact, I just saw the teaser, so I didn't know what I was getting into watching this movie because the trailer doesn't give anything away, which is great. So coming into this movie, I saw Malignant on HBO Max, and I had to say that I was surprised, okay? Malignant is a throwback to like 90s films. If I had to pick two films from Dario Argento, it would be like the combination of Terror at the Opera and Trauma. And along with a long list of films that I will not name because I will end up spoiling the film. It'll be a spoiler. So there's like maybe three pivotal films I won't name in this review because of or maybe at the end with the spoiler alert because it'll give it away. Now, I'm a big fan of James Wan, and I know he can be a hit or a miss, okay? Some people didn't like Dead Silence. I like Dead Silence. Some people don't like Saw. I like Saw. And he has really good ideas. I think he's like an unsung hero in horror, and he's definitely a master of horror. And the guy, I give it to him. He does his thing, He does his thing as a director. He brings good ideas or maybe some recycled ideas that work out well. And with Malignant, I was totally surprised because it's like he uses these ideas as references and not as a ripoff. Now, I gotta say that this movie really, really caught me by surprise. Now, Annabelle Wallis, she plays Madison, and Maddie Hassan plays her sister, Sydney. And George Young, he's the detective. And right down from the beginning, I got to say that some of the performances of the film range from really good to hammy. And the film starts out with Madison. She is in an abusive relationship and with her boyfriend. She's pregnant. And when she loses the baby due to this violent altercation with her boyfriend, she starts to see murders happening that are tied to her, with her investigating them on her own with these weird murders that are happening that are actually tied to Madison. She, meets a detective who sort of believes in her a little bit, and he kind of likes the sister. So, they start to investigate what's going on and how these murders are tied to Madison. And let me start by saying that this movie has some really graphic scenes. I mean, they pull no fucking punches in this film when it comes to the gore. And I was like, I never seen the amount of gore in this film since, like, I'm going to say like Bride of Reanimator, because there's like a lot of absurdity in this film. Sorry, that was my cat. There was a lot of like absurd moments in this film that were great, and they weren't cheesy. And of course, there were some cheesy moments, like a lot of the CG used in the film. And I like some of the homages. All right, so I'm going to go into a spoiler alert right here, okay? The other films that had inspired Malignant was definitely some David Cronenberg body horror type films. I'm going to say like The Brood, or the movie Basket Case, which is a really great film. Basket Case is one of the films, and the film, it goes from horror, thriller, and neo-giallo. I'm going to call it neo-giallo. It's like the films like of Dario Argento, where the killer is shrouded in mystery till you finally get the reveal. And I got to say that this film has an amazing third act that I was just blown away. I mean, the film starts out like a slow burn with really inventive killings, but then towards the end it just goes batshit insane. Like, I never seen the choreography used for the main killer in this movie. I never seen anything like it because a lot of it is not CG. A lot of it's a stunt performer doing it. And in my opinion, *Malignant* is one of those movies that kind of makes you want Oscar nominations for stunt performers because I never seen anything like this in a horror film. Um, Now the cons. Now it's not a perfect movie because there's a lot of scenes where the music is not really queued up to certain scenes. And they have this one scene it's brilliant where a body drops down in the table while they're interrogating one of the characters, and it's just this slow motion screaming that's like right out of a Brian De Palma movie that I love so much. So the film gets it sometimes, and other times you can see its flaws, like holes in the plot, um, like the cues in the music, like I said before. But other than that, it's a really enjoyable film. I think it's definitely going to be a cult classic along the years. It's definitely going to be talked about for a shitload of years. And the film's not really a low budget, being that it's $40 million, but the charm of James Wan is he can take a film that's shot in 20, 30, or 40, like the first Conjuring or Saw, and really focus on the performances. Now, some of the performances are uneven, some of them are wooden, but most of all, the characters are engaging, and you don't want nobody to die. So if I feel that way, then obviously, they're doing their job. Sometimes it's a misdirection with the director. Sometimes the film gets, rushed. But I gotta say, I strongly recommend *Malignant*. See it at the theaters or HBO Max. Uh, I was really surprised by this movie. And guys, tell me what you think. Did you see *Malignant*? What did you think of the last act of the movie? Were you surprised at that? And just leave the comments in the comment section. Subscribe, press the bell. And with that, guys, I'll see you at the next episode. And hopefully not next year.